Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another discussion video because, hey, the year of Shadow may be over, but the year of discussing random things on YouTube is not. But, since we realized that, okay, we did the Sonic X Shadow Generations discussion video, I figured, hey, let's do one for Sonic Movie 3 as well because that movie came out, right at the end of the year of Shadow, and it doesn't seem like we'll be commenting on it anytime soon, so why not give it its own video and also use it as our opportunity to talk about some other topics related to it. So I'm once again joined by my fellow partners, Spring and Klaus. Say hi.
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 Alright. And I think a good way to start this off is by discussing the Sonic Movie 3 DLC. It's sort of like a bridge between the last discussion video and this discussion video. So, short and to the point, what did you guys think about that DLC stage and the two Fallen Link challenges?
So I'll start off by saying that I didn't actually play it myself.
Off to a good start already.
I hate spending money. Okay, I hate spending money. So I just watched bits and pieces of it, and definitely my favorite part of it is the fact that they had the music be a Westopolis remake. So it's like there's our Shadow 2005 crumbs. I wish it could have been an actual Westopolis stage, but hey, at least you get a really banger remix. It's probably
With a choir at the beginning, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's my favorite version of Westopolis. Like, it's so good, that remix.
Yeah, so it was great. Then I think my other favorite part of it is how cool Shadow's animations for the ending ranking screen look. I think all of that was really cool. Keanu's performance as Shadow wasn't so good in the DLC, but it's good to know that was not reflective of his quality in the movie. He did a much better job. So I just think the voice direction for the DLC was a bit off. But yeah, that's all I have to say because, like I said, I didn't play it. So,
all right, Springy boy, you do.
Yeah, I did play it, and I can actually look at the DLC from two different angles. One, like Klaus said, thank you for the crumbs for Shadow the Hedgehog representation. Yeah, appreciate it. I love the remix, like I said. The level's very cinematic, like the looks gorgeous, and it's really fun to play. There's a lot of, even if it's just one level, it takes the foundation from the previous levels from the games we've seen, and you have multiple ways to reach the goal. So no playthrough is the same, at least in the first time you get to it, which is really nice. And oddly enough, yes, the music remix was Westopolis, but I was getting vibes from another city level Shadow the Hedgehog, Lethal Highway. For those who don't know, it's the one where you're chasing that, if you do the Sonic mission, you're chasing that Black Arms spaceship.
I could never beat that mission.
Where Sonic says, damn, they got away!
Fuck!
And I don't know why, it gave me vibes of that level, I don't know why, but it was nice. It felt like I was playing a Shadow the Hedgehog level, even though it's not Shadow the Hedgehog level.
Tokyo!
It's Tokyopolis.
I've been there before!
And then the other angle I can look this, and actually I have to give a shout out or quote or reference good old game apologist. This actually felt like a movie-based game from the mid 2000s. Like, he's the one who mentioned that point, and I'm like, yeah, I can see it. Like, the more Sonic Shadow model looks great, but you can definitely, yeah, it's on the same quality as a movie. The voice acting for Keanu Reeves, I don't know what happened, but it feels a bit phoned in. So
probably wasn't given enough money.
Yeah, again, just like in the movie-based games from like the 2000s, the mid-2000s, like, and for someone who grew up with a lot of those games, and some of those games I would consider some of my favorite games, yeah, that's put a smile on my face. Like, we are playing a movie-based game based on the Sonic movie. How surreal is that?
Pretty much. I mean, my overall thoughts on the level is that the level is good and it's really cinematic, but I did feel like it wasn't as good as the ones in the base game simply because the cinematic portions take up a bit too much time in my books, making the level kind of annoying to replay because you always gotta watch those cutscenes. And the level design, it was fun, but I definitely felt like the alternate paths weren't as strong as like something like Kingdom Valley, which is my favorite level from the base game. In case you didn't see the discussion video, I'll put it in the description, maybe. But besides that, I enjoyed what they offered. It's a shame that it's only one level, but it's also like, okay. What I found very odd is that the Shadow himself, it feels like it's the Shadow from the game, but just got transported into this movie universe and became Movie Shadow. But then when he starts talking, it's kind of like, oh, this place looks like when Maria is sort of Earth. And I was like, wait, this Shadow wouldn't, like, know of Tokyo and stuff like that. And it feels like this Shadow hasn't really grown after Adventure 2. It feels very sloppy, you know. I don't get it. But besides that, it's a fine stage. The 2 extra challenges actually were kind of a bitch to S rank. I didn't even try. It's like, I just noticed that it was harder to like get an S rank, especially the balloon one. But besides that, yeah, it's a simple level. There's collectibles free to get, which is basically just like small little posters of just Game Shadow with the parts of the level in the background, that's neat, but it's
meh.
Kind of nothing.
It's meh. I think it's just pretty meh.
It's just kind of there. You can see the collection room. And, I mean, I'm fine with the clock. Thank you. I don't need another clock. So yeah, that's pretty much the level. It was decent. It was interesting from a development point that the reason why the level is just what it is that the developers themselves didn't watch the movie. They only fed a little bit of information when they made the level. So that's interesting to look at from a development perspective.
Just like old movie-based games. Yay!
Exactly. That's why sometimes you see inconsistencies. Like, for example, the Flushed Away license game still had those 2 butler rats, which don't appear in the final film, but appear in some early trailers of that movie.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh man, I remember the Flushed Away game really was scaring me as a kid. Because when you went down to the sewers, the slugs would attack you. Yeah.
And for example, the Ice Age 2 video game, which me and Klaus, we love that game.
That is the greatest movie video game of all time.
Yeah. I still say that it's Toy Story 2, but go on.
I don't know. It goes back and forth between that game and the Madagascar PlayStation 2 game. I say PlayStation 2, but the game's also for GameCube and PC, whatever. And in the Ice Age 2, depending on the version you get, for example, I grew up with the PS2 version. And at certain point, you stop getting cutscenes with the movie clips and you get concept artwork, which really left me believe, okay, this version was probably being developed at the same time as the movie. But then the Wii version, they continue using clips from the movie, so it's like, yeah, you can definitely tell.
Was the Wii version released later?
I assume so. To explain why that is. So it's again, further compliments what we were saying about the DLC being not one-to-one with the movie because the developers didn't have the full picture.
Yeah. Pretty much, and
so welcome back, movie-based games. We missed you.
It's so interesting that after the 7th generation of consoles, the PlayStation 3, Wii, and Xbox 360, we stopped getting those. Pretty much, they just gave up.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I would like if this meant, we're getting more DLC stages for Shadow Generations, but that doesn't seem like it. I'm like, oh.
Until further notice, no.
Further notice.
I don't think we're gonna get. I would love to.
I'm willing to bet on it.
Yeah, but you know, Sega, prove me wrong. I dare you. Sega Sonic Team.
Prove me wrong, Sega.
Prove us all wrong.
Yeah.
And then Monkey Paw curls and they say, yes, DLC, first level, a level from Sonic Forces, level from Lost World.
I mean, if it's anything from Lost World, maybe Forza Factory, because that was the most unique level out of that game.
No, it's Winnie Hill again. It's Winnie Hill.
Fuck! But yeah, with that being said, so because Movie 3 was something that we were all anticipating for a while now, especially without Movie 2 in it. But let's backtrack a little bit. When Movie 1 came out, everybody was kind of skeptical because of the whole design thing that happened at first, and then fans clamored so much about it, like, were so against it that they wanted it.
And not just fans, like everyone.
Casual audience as well.
No one liked that design, and rightfully so. It looked horrible.
And from what I understand, a lot of casual audiences don't know much about Sonic besides 1 and 2 on the Mega Drive / Genesis. Like, after that, they haven't played any other Sonic game, which is fascinating to look at, but also kind of shows something, you know. But then movie 1 came out, and this is where I segue into your thoughts. What do you guys think of movie 1?
You can go first, Klaus.
All right. Well, I was just happy to see Sonic on the big screen with a normal looking design and not ugly. So I'm glad they fixed him. There
was much rejoicing.
Yep.
And it was one of those movies that just made me feel so happy while I was watching it. It just made me feel like a kid again. And we all need movies like that. So I thought the movie played it very safe, and I don't have an issue that only Sonic was in it, and that it did focus along the human characters. Is because they did have to play it safe because this was the first movie. It's like we don't know how people are going to react to it, and they couldn't blow their budget on having too many CGI characters running around. So I like it's just that we kind of get to be with a younger Sonic, because in the game Sonic is a little bit older, and he's a bit more like established in who he is and what he's doing. So this is almost like an origin story for Sonic. So I like that we do get something different in the games. And I just like a good road trip movie going across America. As an American, as an American myself, I'm very familiar with driving across our vast landscape.
Except Chicago, you don't like to go to Chicago.
I don't want to go to Chicago, no. but if when you visit America, and if you want to go try the deep dish pizza, I will drive you there, and I will go. I will go to keep you safe from Chicago, and I'll try the pizza.
I mean, it's not like I'm gonna go into those dark alleys. I'm just gonna go into the main streets.
Okay. Yeah. So. Yeah, I like, but like overall, like the best thing to come out of the Sonic movies though is the character Agent Stone. I love him, and I hope he comes to the games. He's great. Okay.
He's totally gay for Robotin.
Yeah, no, and like all their reactions are all their interactions are just like absolute gold.
Doctor, do you want a latte? Yes, of course. I love the way you make them.
Yeah, I love that. It was, the kind of. It kind of reminds me of when the second trailer with the redesign showed up. It kind of showed how much more confident they were, because they used a much more upbeat song, and they put some of their best jokes in that trailer, and just like made you feel happy and shit. And it's like, man, what a turnaround.
Yeah, the Sonic movie, the whole thing is well coded to Gangsta's Paradise.
No, I've seen it. Pardon, like a little bit. I've seen it on YouTube. I'm like, holy shit. And they did the same thing for movie 2 and movie 3.
But yeah, I mean, overall, I don't have too much to say about the movie because, like I said, it just plays it safe, and I was just happy to see Sonic kind of like alive and well, and like for me, and like I'm sure this was for a lot of people, Sonic was the very last movie I saw in theaters before the world completely shut down.
Before the big virus.
And everything went to shit. So that's definitely a core memory, is seeing Sonic and then not being able to go to the theater for many years. So I think that being like the last normal movie I got to see in theaters, I think that was very. I think I was okay with that. That was cool. But yeah, I think I like what they did with Green Hills in the movie. They just make it a cute little town out in the mountains, out in the woods, and I think it's a really nice town, and I'd love to live there in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd love
to just explore the things around it. It looks cozy.
Yeah, so I don't have a whole lot to say, but yeah, I like the movie, and I actually like the human characters. I mean, I like most of them; they're fine. Mm-hmm. I don't have an issue with them, so that's about it.
Shame that Crazy Carl never reappeared, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Shame. Yeah, Sonic.
How about you, Springy?
I like the first movie fine. Definitely not without getting too much detail further ahead, but it's definitely my least favorite out of the 3 movies. But for what it is, and considering how much thing he had to fight against, again because of the PR stunts with the designs, but then they actually changed the design for something that's much more appealing. And going to watch the movie, it's a very enjoyable, cozy movie. Nothing more, nothing less. I like what they did with Sonic, like Klaus was saying. Oh, he's a more younger Sonic, more inexperienced, more trying to play cool, trying to live his life after losing his parental figure. Also, by the way, spoilers. I suppose we have to say this.
Yeah, no, I forgot. Spoilers for the entire saga, alright? Don't even bother watching this video if you don't want spoilers on any of these movies. Go away, alright? Go away.
And then come back after you watch all the movies, and you should.
Yes, we need all these views, even though I don't get money.
But no, I like the first movie. I like, what they did with Sonic. I think the human characters were fine. Definitely felt like more a standard live-action kids movie. But I think what made it more unique, or at least special, maybe, but that's probably biased because we are Sonic fans, but again, Sonic's characterization was more interesting. After we had a whole 10 years in the meta era where Sonic was more quiet, you look at some things like Sonic Boom or Sonic Lost World, where Sonic didn't felt very active, felt more like just catching one-liners and throwing one-liners and stuff like that. It's nice seeing a more proactive Sonic after a little bit, and his arc of growing up and discovering his whole family, it's really well constructed. I do think he sometimes goes a bit too far ahead with the references. I know there's a reason why he's young, he's a teenager, of course he's going to quote what he sees, and when he gets to Earth, he raises himself in those movies. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, Sonic, you can stop. I get it. Fast and Furious is funny. You can stop. It's all about family, Tom.
Keanu, a national legend.
As for the human characters, Agent Stone, best character, best new character. Like, I see fan art of him in the trying to put him in the games by countless Sonic fans, and yeah, he's the best new character. As in, best new character we've seen in those movies. He's awesome. Donut Lord and his wife are great too. I like that Tom actually has an arc in this movie, not appreciating the small corners of life or where or not he wants to go to the big city. And I like that Sonic helps him realize that. His wife, I forgot her, Maddie. She's great. Like she doesn't have a lot of scenes, but I think she's cool. Robotnik. At first, it's like you can just say this is supposed to be Eggman. But it's Jim Carrey. It's Jim Carrey doing a Jim Carrey, and he just is so fun. Like, a lot of the lines I remember from the first movie and second movie are from him. I was not expecting that. I was expecting not to expect anything, so it doesn't really count.
You literally used that GIF yesterday when I published that video.
You don't say, Rhino. But no, the first movie is fine. It's a cozy, enjoyable time. A nice road trip movie, a nice kids movie, and I think as Sonic fans should just appreciate seeing Sonic, this character that meant a lot to us, just on the big screen, with a nice design, fighting against Eggman. It's simple fun. And then the post-credit scene made us think of the future, and we saw a two-tailed fox, which now looking back looks completely different from how he looks in the second movie.
He looks more pudgy.
And even the yellow, I think it's different. I think it's more...
It's a darker yellow.
Yeah, it's kind of like... He looks more like classic Tails, where it's more like yellowish orangey. And then he looks like modern Tails in the second movie, where it's like a more bright yellow.
Wow, it took him a movie to go from classic to modern.
Yeah, I don't know. I always like his coloration in the classic games more. I always preferred the kind of like warm orange color. But I mean, I feel like him being yellow because we got the three primary colors. We got Sonic, blue, Knuckles red, Tails yellow. And I just think when you line them up all next to each other, like him being yellow is probably like just better for marketing purposes, but I still miss orange Tails.
I think, now that I think about it, the reason why he was orange in the classic games was to complement Sonic, because blue and orange are complementary colors. But since Knuckles and then the modern games came into consideration, that I guess wasn't as important. I mean, when you think about it, Adventure 1, Tails' arc was like being more independent, so it kind of fits.
There you go.
But my thoughts on the movie, it's a cozy vibe. I like Klaus said, road trip movie. It's a simple road trip movie, and I enjoy my road trip movies. I've seen the road trip movies. I've seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I've seen fucking Thelma and Louise, although that's a darker road trip movie. I've seen Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I fucking love Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I can't get enough of it. So with Sonic Movie 1, I'm kind of biased towards it because, well, I'm a Sonic fan and I like road trip. So when you combine both aspects together, I'm gonna enjoy it. But besides that, it's a relatively simple movie. What I do enjoy is that it actually managed to avoid some tropes and cliches that you see in some like kids movies like that. Like for example, it felt like Sonic and Tom were gonna have a falling out when Sonic was like against Tom's decision to leave Green Hills, but Robotnik gets in the way and Sonic gets goes unconscious. So there's not even that moment of falling of that. There's no falling out because of that. And then Tom eventually realized that maybe it is better to like be in Green Hills and be with the people that call me and trust me and stuff like that. And then he became dad to Sonic, and then Sonic became very, very fast child. But what I like it's interesting comparing to the games, like you guys said, that Sonic here it actually has a character arc, and he has a character arc in all these movies actually. Compared to the games, he's a static character, and the characters around him are the ones that grow. So it's interesting to see here, but it also makes it very easy to swallow for general audiences. And in the case of the human characters, like I enjoy them. I really like Agent Stone. And I think especially because before I watched the first movie for the first time, I rewatched the first and second one, and I noticed that in the first one there weren't that many moments with Agent Stone, but he got a lot more screen time in the second one and this third one especially. It's like, okay, I think people like Agent Stone in the first one, so let's put him more in the second one. And then Tom and Maddie, I like them. Especially Tom. Maddie, I can't say a whole lot because she just supports Tom. That's pretty much it. And then she's gone for a good chunk of the movie because she's out with her sister Rachel and her niece Jojo. We have a character called Jojo in a Sonic movie. What? But besides that, like, it's a fun movie, and I like that Sonic becomes Quicksilver. That's neat.
No, he becomes Hammy the hamster, Hammy the squirrel from Over the Hedge.
Oh, never forget the OG.
Never forget your origins.
Yeah.
But besides that, no, it's a fun movie. It was also like Klaus said, it was also my last movie that I saw before the big pandemic happened. And
it was also my last movie as well. But oddly enough, I only saw 2 movies before the pandemic. One was Sonic, which was the last one. The first one was the Bruno Leixo movie, a character from Portugal.
That's a funny story. But Sonic movie 1 also has another distinction, is that it may have been the last movie I saw before the pandemic started, but it was also the first movie ever that I got in Blu-ray, because me and my family, we don't have a Blu-ray reader in the house, and we haven't gotten movies physically in years now. But I was like, well, this movie's gonna be for myself because my family doesn't really care. And well, looky that, my PlayStation 3 is a Blu-ray player.
Sony had the right idea all along back in 2006.
Yep. But I still have yet to get movie 2, and hopefully I can get movie 3 on Blu-ray. But the thing that pisses me off is like, okay, Sonic movie 1, the Blu-ray has a lot of interesting extra features, like bonus, like deleted scenes. You can even see some deleted scenes with the original design. I was like, wait, there was even like supposedly Longclaw was gonna live, and she was not gonna die before Sonic went on Earth. She was gonna stick with him, and then she would eventually die when Sonic gets close to his teenage years. I actually appreciate that they killed Longclaw because it really does sell the character arc that Sonic goes through, which is simple, but it works. But then the thing that pissed me off is that you have all of these languages, and I think it even had Japanese, which Japanese people were not going to get Sonic movie 1 for a few months, but it doesn't have Portuguese, and I'm like, fuck.
And the movie was dubbed. So
the movie was dubbed. All these 3 movies were dubbed, and eventually I would watch the Portuguese dub, and I liked it. It's interesting hearing Robotnik being voiced by Luís Barros, who voices Mario in the Mario movie.
And not just that, we voiced Sonic in our second dub of Sonic X.
Which is funny as fuck. But
so this voice actor as Mario, is Robotnik, and is Sonic.
I do like that they're establishing like what actors are like Sonic. Like Gonçalo Carvalho is Sonic, Marta Mota is Tails, Guilherme Barroso is Knuckles, and now Luís Barros is Eggman. And I appreciate that. Although Shadow seems to be a bit different, but I'll discuss that later. So, yeah, no, those are pretty much my thoughts on Sonic Movie 1. It's a decent movie. I enjoy it. Tails!
I wanna fly high until we reach the sky.
Sonic Movie 2. It came out a couple years later. Everybody got excited. It even had a trailer premiere at the Game Awards of 2021. What do you guys think of it?
Forgot about that. Okay, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and Knuckles.
Knuckles.
Wait, we're talking about the series as well?
No, not yet. No, not yet. So, it definitely step up from the first movie in pretty much every single way. Because now that they know that they have a successful franchise on their hands, now they can be a little bit more out there with the story and what characters they introduce. So I'm so grateful that they introduced Tails and Knuckles here. And I think that this is like my favorite interpretation of Knuckles that we've had in a long time. Finally, Knuckles, he's not like an idiot anymore. I mean, Knuckles has never been stupid. It's just that he's like sheltered and he's unaware because and that's not his fault. I mean, his whole race was wiped out, and he's basically just been living alone, protecting the Master Emerald. That's all he's done. It's just he doesn't.
Unless you're Ken Penders.
Yeah, we don't talk about Ken Penders.
No,
we're going there.
Ken Penders.
Don't go there yet.
Okay, he was mad. He was mad when he saw that like Knuckles' father was in the movie because Ken Penders thinks he owns the concept to Knuckles' father because in the comic he did make Knuckles' father and like he named him Locke and he had all that kind of shit going on. But it's like, damn, you do not own the concept of Knuckles having a father. Like, you own that version of Knuckles' father, but not the concept, right? And so,
you're right. I'm still dumbfounded that he won that lawsuit.
I just think that Archie, they just didn't want to deal with it anymore. I mean, they did lose some of the important documents back in the day, and I just think they wanted to wipe their hands of him, and then that's why they did the whole reboot thing and wiped everything out.
Yeah.
But anyway, Sonic Movie 2.
But then we got the IDW comics, which I think is probably better in the end. So anyway, so Sonic Movie 2. Oh, what were you gonna say something, Spring?
I was just gonna say, IDW was really good. Sorry.
Still have yet to read it. Don't know when I'll read it.
You should read it, but me and Klaus have been saying that,
I know.
Yeah, I gotta read it too. I love Knuckles in this movie. I think I like what they did actually with the Chaos Emeralds and the Master Emeralds and the Chaos Emerald being inside the Master Emerald, because let's be real, in the games the Master Emerald actually doesn't do a whole lot. I mean, yeah, Knuckles can use it to control the Chaos Emeralds like in the end of SA2, but it just doesn't do much. The Master Emerald gets broken and Knuckles has to go find the pieces, right? And I'm like, well, it doesn't do much. So I think it's just easier, more streamlined, just to make the Master Emeralds and the Chaos Emeralds just the same thing.
Yeah, because
just for the sake of the movie universe.
Yeah, the Master Emerald just makes Angel Island stay up.
Yeah.
That's it. And sometimes after a while, I wonder, what's the purpose in keeping Angel Island in the air?
I think just because it makes it safer, like just to protect the emerald, because you think about it, then it's just a floating island, right? So there's less ways to
reach it,
get onto the island, to reach it, and that's all I can really think of. But now that we're kind of pulling Knuckles away from Angel Island, like in all the Knuckles, it's just, either when Knuckles doesn't appear in the games, you assume he's just on Angel Island defending the emerald.
Yeah.
But then, in other occasions, we pull him away from the Master Emerald, then it's like, who's protecting it, So I think, we know he's the guardian of the Master Emerald, but moving forward, putting Knuckles into more games, I'm okay if they kind of separate him from his Emerald guarding duties.
Just put a robot dog in there, it'll do fine.
And again, the IDW comics show that, because in one of the issues in the annuals, Blaze comes back, goes to vacation in Sonic's dimension, and she meets Knuckles, since they both, can sympathize with one another about their duties, as protecting Danger Island or being the queen of I forgot the name of the other dimension, but
the Soul Dimension.
Soul Dimension, thank you.
Soul.
Yeah, and Knuckles actually steps away from the Master Emerald and just explores the rest of the island, and you can see, he can take a break, quote unquote. I mean, he's still in the island, but you can see, he didn't have to be always next to the Emerald to protect it, because he was walking all around the island, going inside into caverns and into caves and stuff with Blaze. So if they want to bring Knuckles back, they should definitely keep that in mind. Like, it doesn't have to be glued to the Emerald, to the Master Emerald, like
Yeah,
like that meme
because-
face from Sonic Mania Adventures.
Yeah, because like even after Adventure 2, they were kind of forgetting about Angel Island. They just wanted to bring Knuckles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, where were we? Okay, that's about it with Knuckles. I thought his performance was great, so Knuckles was great. Okay, I think Tails, of course, Tails was absolutely adorable. Look how fluffy he is. Oh, so I think yeah, I know he's like admires Sonic, and I feel like maybe he admires Sonic a lot, but I feel like the movie maybe leaned a bit too heavily into like a little kid idolizing their hero sometimes.
Yeah. Only Sonic the Hedgehog would do this.
Only like, Sonic... oh yeah, that's yeah.
Go ahead.
Only Sonic the Hedgehog. He says that 3 times.
Exactly, guys. Exactly. So I feel like he said that a little bit too much. I feel like they could have toned that down a little bit. So Eggman, of course, is starting to look a bit more like the Eggman that we. I don't know.
Bald.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
he's
he's
looking more like his game counterpart. Like,
Yeah,
he's getting
so-
bald, he gets his mustache bigger. Is a bigger mustache.
Bigger, a little bit bigger, a little bit more unhinged. So it's kind of like cool seeing him like change in real time over the course of this trilogy into the Eggman we all know. But I mean, it's still Jim Carrey just having the time of his life. You know, he's
Yeah.
always fun to watch. So I love that Agent Stone is there in Green Hills running the coffee shop.
The mean machine.
Mean machine.
And the first thing we see in the movie is him drawing a picture of him and Robotnik together in like a latte.
There is no straight explanation for that.
They're so sick of friends.
No, historians will say they were the best of friends.
They were roommates.
Oh my god, they were roommates.
Yeah, that was adorable. I think I like that we got to see more of like Earth in this movie, so it really felt like a proper Sonic adventure or a Sonic just running across the world and seeing everything. So that was fun. I can't complain. I like the temples that they went to, and that we saw the temple, like the statues of the owls and all that stuff. It's just like this is some ancient history. It just makes it feel more connected to the rest of the universe. And I like the ending bit where Sonic just like runs across the water real fast. Like that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he goes to the temple and people put the Autobots like music from Sonic Unleashed in there. It fits.
It
like
fits
a
so
glove.
well.
Then, like, I guess the common consensus is that the least popular scene is the wedding scene, and people think the wedding scene dragged on too long. But when I viewed the movie for the first time, I thought the wedding scene was actually pretty funny. So I didn't mind the wedding scene as much as other people. I mean, it did drag a bit, but I still enjoyed it. And honestly, I don't have too many other thoughts on the movie. I mean, it's, like I said, better than the first movie in every single way. Just overall, a very fun, enjoyable film. So.
Springy.
I agree with everything Klaus said. Like, I remember saying this back then, that this felt like the Sonic movie I wanted to see when I was younger. Playing Sonic Heroes, that's a game that really marked my childhood. Like, or one of those games that marked my childhood. Like, this movie, Sonic 2, really felt like, oh, this is the Sonic movie I wanted. Little did I know, Sonic 3 would just be around the corner. Anyway. But this movie, I enjoyed it a lot. Like, Knuckles' characterization was perfect. I don't say perfect, no, just spot on. A good characterization. Like, Knuckles, in part, thanks to a little bit Sonic Boom, even though it's a different continuity, it's a different Knuckles, and he's funny in that continuity, make no mistake.
But Boom occupied most of the 2010s.
Yeah, like, and he was already, the thing is, he was already considered dumb by at least the fandom. You see parodies of, like, Sonic shorts and everything.
I'm confused! Ah!
Yeah, for example, that one, like, it's funny again, but, like, they really were hammering in, oh, Knuckles is perceived as being dumb. And then, in the 2010s, Sega Sonic Team didn't do anything to change that. Again, because Sonic Boom was the main thing they were being shown, and Knuckles was not as bright as Stu in the shed. So it's nice that Sonic Movie 2 actually made Knuckles more capable. He's very, like, always very honorable. He has the mind of a warrior, a destroyer. So it's nice to see him actually be taken seriously, actually being a nice rival for Sonic. Not to say he's bland, no, he still has some great lines, some very funny lines. And Idris Elba just nailed it. I wasn't familiar with this actor before, but now every time I see, like, for example, The Office, I was watching The Office a few years ago, he appeared in one of the seasons, like, wait, Knuckles is here. Like, I was watching Zootopia, when those little shorts came out on Disney Plus, and when the Buffalo Chief was like, wait, that's Knuckles. So, like, Idris Elba was great. Tails, I do think he was a bit overshadowed by Knuckles, and then that post-credits scene, which is funny when you think that how Tails was like, oh, we were excited for Tails when we saw the post-credits scene in Sonic 1. And then when they revealed Knuckles, it's like, oh yeah, we are hyped for Tails. Knock, knock is Knuckles.
It's funny because, like, when the post-credits scene appeared, we were thinking about Tails, but, like, we were not expecting that Knuckles would already show up.
Yeah,
like they were combining Sonic 2 and Sonic 3 and Knuckles into one movie instead of, like, the order we were thinking, and then Sonic 3 is like, oh, we're going straight to Adventure 2. It's like, what?
So it's like, I do like what they did. For one, I'm glad we kept the voice actress from the games. Thank you.
Colleen Shaughnessy, yes.
No, she's great as Tails. She's my favorite voice actress for Tails. And I think the story was, she was just there as like to fill in the role for the post-credit scene, and then they were thinking of casting someone else. But since it was so widely positive, the reception, they said, you know what, let's keep her around. And again, she's a voice actress. She doesn't get the same, billboard as like big name actors from Hollywood.
Yes.
But it's great to see that. While
it's
Sonic
so awesome seeing him in the red carpet alongside big names like Jim Carrey, Keanu Reeves. Like
that's so hard for me to see, and she nailed it. Like, honestly, she sounds better still in the movies than she did in Sonic Generations. But again, I blame direction. I blame direction there, not her performance. But I do like what they did with Tails. They made him absolutely adorable. He does offer the support. He's more the emotional support, but also the tech support. I do wish they expand a little bit more, because the reason he discovered Sonic is because, because Sonic has, I don't want to say a mental breakdown in the first movie, but, like, there's a scene where he's all alone in a baseball field and he just runs around in circles, like, he's so desperate.
Because of the giant electric outburst that he did.
He did, like, during that scene when he was all desperate. And that's how Tails discovered him. I wish... What was Tails doing there? Like, he was in this... If I remember correctly, he was in a space station of some kind. Like, does he work there? Like, is that his home?
I don't think he was in a space station. I think it was just in his own planet.
His own planet?
Yeah, I think...
Just in his room, like, those people who were stuck in the basement. It's like,
Yeah, no, I think it's just Tails. I just think it's his lab. And it's just his lab, and he was just monitoring energy signatures across the galaxy, and then he honed it. Yeah, he's stalking. He's stalking.
Yeah, technically,
like in a cute way, Like a.
I never thought I'd hear
that. It's cute stalking. It's a thing apparently. But no, I do like what we got for Tails. I do think again the catchphrase "Only Sonic the Hedgehog" got a little bit annoying, and again I do think they played a little bit too much on him being young. But I still think he worked fine enough, and he's very adorable. And one of my favorite lines in the movie is when Sonic was like, "Oh, we have to stop him," and Tails like, "What do you mean we?"
We?
That's a really funny line. Jim Carrey as Robotnik was great. Definitely getting crazier by the second. So crazy, in fact, that he does this to Fortnite. This is how we roll.
Yeah, and the full line is, Earth is my turf, G. If you don't know how to floss, you'll be lost without me. And Knuckles is like, I don't understand a single thing you said.
That's okay, Knuckles. I don't understand it either.
Me neither, Knuckles. No worries.
Dot. And then Robotnik Agent Son just fucking...
Again, that movie was so funny. In terms of the human characters, that's where Maddie and Tom definitely get taken to the side a little bit, but it's fine. They still have their nice moments. You can still again buy the relationship between Sonic and Tom, which I think is the most important one. And what Klaus was saying about combining the Master Emerald and the Chaos Emerald in one plot MacGuffin, I also agree. Yes, it's different from the games, but helps newcomers keep track of things, you know, because that's the thing we have to think. There's gonna be people who are
simplifying lore.
Yeah, and I thought it was fine. I like that he also gave more context lore for Longclaw, which we don't have a lot yet, at least. And I
by
do
comparison,
hope.
movie 3 doesn't really say much.
Yeah, movie 3 doesn't add anything to this. But I hope they go a bit in depth in that, because that's completely new. For those who don't know, yeah, there's not a civilization of owls in the Sonic games. This is completely new for the movies. But I like that. I want to see, like, why were they rivals with an Echidnas? Because that's something they showed in this movie. They show, I mean, in the first movie, we already seen Echidnas chasing Longclaw.
I think the reason they explained the reason why they were rivals is that the Echidna tribe made the Master Emeralds and hoped that he could harness its power and be powerful, but the owls were against using, in civilization using, like, just to be powerful, and that's why they fought. I think that's the reason.
Yeah.
Which again, and we saw Knuckles' father, how both Sonic and Knuckles lost their parents due to war, in a way, due to this ongoing fight, which makes them kindred spirits, which is why that scene at the beach where Sonic saves Knuckles from drowning, and then Knuckles doesn't understand, why did you do this, what's the strategic value, and then they just have a conversation, which is a really beautiful moment. And they have like
No Reason song from Sonic Unleashed fits that scene very well.
So like, no, it was great what they did with the lore, I guess you can also call it that. The wedding scene, definitely, when I saw it the first time, I didn't think it was long. I just thought, oh, this is now a completely different movie. We're watching Norbit now. We're not watching Sonic the Hedgehog. We're watching the Norbit. One of those comedies.
That movie I haven't heard about in years.
So like, but it was fun. The more the second time I saw the Sonic movie too, the scene didn't felt as long. I guess because now we are expecting that scene. I do see the criticism though, and that's something they learned, because in Sonic Movie 3, there's not a scene like that, at least in my opinion. But I really enjoyed the Sonic movie. And then Sonic Supersonic transformation, that was really cool. And the Death Egg robot, Super Eggman, when he got the Master Emerald, then he became all green like Magneto. Like
Mr. 3.0, my game is next level.
It was really cool. Again, just seeing Super Sonic and Death Egg on the big screen, and they were done justice. Like seeing the scene where Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles fighting. Someone did an edit with that, with the Sonic Heroes theme, and like, that's perfection right there. Like, it just fits so much. Like, great movie. I really enjoy Sonic Movie 2. Even though we have Sonic Movie 3, and we'll talk about it in a few minutes, Sonic Movie 2 is still a great time. I really enjoyed it.
And that kind of goes the same for me. Like, I think Sonic Movie 2 just pretty much betters everything that Sonic Movie 1 did. It adds more lore to the universe. I like that it's not necessarily world adventure, but I like there's the Montana, there's fucking the
Siberia?
The snowy...
Siberia.
Yeah.
Siberia, and then there's the whole snowboarding bit, and then you go to Hawaii, and like, it's fun. I enjoy it. And then the island with all those ruins and stuff, and then the big showdown in Green Hills where fucking Eggman has the Death Egg robot and shit. Like, it's fun to see. The wedding scene is one that because I rewatched the movie recently, my complaint is not the leg. My complaint is that it adds nothing to the movie. Like, afterwards, it doesn't impact anything that goes on in the movie, especially afterwards, like, it just is. And now, especially now with hindsight with Sonic Movie 3, it continues to not really add much. So I think that's kind of like my issue with the wedding scene now, even if it's okay as it is. Like, and I do enjoy the acting. It's really, it doesn't add to the movie. That's my criticism of it. But besides that, and then besides that, like, they go straight to the action right afterwards, and it's like, okay, I can't really complain. One of my favorite scenes with the human characters, though, it's right at the beginning when Tom goes to Hawaii. Tom and Rachel want to put bygones, want to let bygones be bygones, because Rachel was tied to a chair in the first movie.
Yeah, that's true.
And Rachel is having her wedding and stuff. If she hugs Tom and she says to his ear, "If you ruin this wedding, I will destroy you." And Tom's face just like, shit. I love that moment. I love that moment so much. But besides that, Yeah, it's a fun movie. I enjoy it. I got to see not the whole thing in Portuguese dub, but a few clips of it, and I think they did good. They did good, and yeah, Shadow the Hedgehog.
Actually, no,
But
guys.
first,
Before
Knuckles.
that, but even before that, the prequel comic they did.
I forgot about that. I remember
Whoa.
reading it around the time, but I forgot what I thought about it. Gotta be honest.
I don't.
Go ahead, Klaus.
I don't remember it. I don't really remember it either. Sorry, Spring. Go on.
I just remember two particular stories. They have one with Sonic where he's trying to be a hero. I remember, they have one with Tails, but I forgot the contents about it. The ones I remember were the Knuckles' story. We actually explains why he. Because if you remember, in the first scene when he meets up, there's like a tribal alien guys that attack Eggman in the Mushroom Hill planet, and then Knuckles appears and fights them. It shows that Knuckles was captured by those type of aliens for like a gladiator style fighting tournament thing. And
Yeah.
what's especially important is that the Chaotix cameo in that comic. So the Chaotix are canon into the movieverse. They're gonna appear someday. Mark my words.
Eventually, maybe I don't know.
I don't know, but mark my
Maybe in a
words.
spin-off.
I want like a dark detective style movie of the Chaotix.
You know, that would be a good Knuckles' show. Wait.
No,
Wait a minute.
segue.
No, not yet. Not yet. There's one thing I want to say. There's another comic story was about Agent Stone, and actually shows how he got to run the Mean Cafe. He pretty much he was like working already there, but like he made sure every single person who worked there got out, either got fired or someone else did just left work. And every time he just inner monologuing about his plan and how he's trying to bring Dr. Eggman back, which, yeah, he's an evil.
Coveting bastard.
Yeah, like Agent Stone, we all think is kawaii desu, but no, he's evil. He's definitely sneaky. So that's cool too. More dimensions for our favorite
Evil,
character.
sneaky, and kawaii. He can
There
do
you
all.
go. He's all free. Again, best. Again, that's the reason why he's the best new movie character. We all love Agent Stone.
Yep.
And now about the Knuckles show.
Say in Portuguese.
And now the Knuckles show, which
Knuckles show.
I haven't seen. I just know two things about it. No, three things. Wade is there. He sucks. The other thing, Pachamacaque is there. I don't know why, but he's there. And then the other is the Flames of Disaster.
Alright, I think because I've seen the show, I'll just say my quick thoughts on it. It's okay, but it is disappointing that a show called Knuckles is really about Wade with Knuckles on the side. Like, I enjoyed that Pachamacaque is like a ghost and he's voiced by Christopher Lloyd. And I enjoyed his performance. And I also find the concept of bringing the Flames of Disaster like funny, especially now they did it with episode 4, pretty much like a musical. And also the guy who directed that episode makes a cameo at the beginning of Sonic Movie 3 as one of the guard, as one of the guards of Shadow, like with the one with the glasses. I think his name is Jorma Tacone or something like that. But you could definitely also tell that the best episode of the Knuckles series is the first one. And oh, looky that, it was the one that was directed by Jeff Fowler. Oh.
Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah. But besides that, like, it's fine, and I enjoyed the road trip aspect of it. Like, they go to Reno. That wasn't the Wizard. It's the smallest big city in the world. I love it.
The smallest
Besides
big
that,
city.
like, it's fine. It's fine. And there's I don't like Wade's sister. She annoys me. But Wade's mom is cool. And Piston Pete, well, he's a villain. Yeah, alright. Yeah.
He's a villain, alright.
Yeah. You go.
Alright, well, I don't have a whole lot to say about it either. I'll keep it short. Real neat. It is this. So, I mean, I don't think it was like all that good, but I don't think it was terrible. I mean, it entertained me. So, that's fine.
It entertains.
Yeah, it entertained me. And the thing with me is I don't sit down, I don't watch a lot of TV shows just because very little things interest me. So I like that it was a short and sweet TV show. And the thing is, like, of course it's disappointing Knuckles wasn't in it much, but I sort of understand why. Because animating these characters is really expensive.
Yes.
Like, I get why he's not in it much.
You also wonder why would you make a series about that if you don't have enough money to supplement.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of hard. So that's why I'm like, then if they do go to make this Shadow series, like they're talking about how I don't know. I
That would
don't
be
know how that
interesting
would
considering
work.
some
Like,
things in the movie, but we'll keep that for later.
yeah. I mean, maybe that could work if it keeps a more serious tone. I don't know. Anyway, I think my favorite part of the show was uh, like with that like random biker guy,
Oh
like
yeah.
how Wade got captured and then he's trying to escape from the biker. Like that whole bit, like the dialogue in that part, is absolutely absurd, but I thought it was pretty funny.
I
So
think his
that
name was
whole,
Jack Sinclair, something like that.
yeah, something like that. So yeah, that was my favorite part of the show for sure. But I mean, it was fine. The show was fine, but I don't like. I don't hate Wade as a character. I actually think Wade is funny, but I think Wade is better in smaller doses, like in the movie.
Like in movies, yeah.
Like in the movie, and then like in the way they used him in Sonic 3, I thought was perfect. Like his, like that was. I will get to that in a sec, but that was caught me off guard what he was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll give him that. So yeah, I just hope that they learn their lessons from the Knuckles show, and then if they make more spin-off show, that they just make them a little bit better,
Yes.
Because with some of the ideas in the show, I'm just like, this is just like I think the writers are probably smoking something, writing most of the scripts, because it really
especially
with all the hallucinations with Chief
Jerry.
yeah, you're right. All those seconds were just weird. Like, man, what were they thinking?
I mean, I think it was intentional. It's like wild bullshit, and I find it kind of enjoyable.
Yeah.
But all right, we've done enough dilly dally shilly shally, as Earth would say. Sonic movie free. So, the hype for Sonic movie free was like immense, and going into it, like knowing that, oh my god, they're going straight to Adventure 2, Shadow is there, and stuff like that. I was a bit worried. Like I was optimistic, but I was also a bit worried because I want this trilogy to end well. Like as much as I like, for example, Spider-Man 3, that movie was not well received by a lot of people. It was a disappointment.
Myself included.
But I want this trilogy to okay, just get better. Like I hope this movie does justice. And I'm gonna save my thoughts for later. Klaus, you go first.
All right. So,
there's plenty to discuss.
I know there's so much to discuss, but which parts do I want to start with? Because I know Shadow, he's the best part. All right.
I thought Wade was the best part.
Oh well, I mean the way Wade. Okay, actually, we'll start with the Wade part. So so we're skipping.
Spoilers for Sonic 3.
Spoilers for Sonic 3. Sonic wants the Chaos Emeralds, right? And Sonic is very pissed off about something. He wants to use the Emerald's power, and Knuckles is like, "No, I will not let you use the Emerald's power for evil. I have a sworn duty to protect it." And Sonic's like, "Tell me where you put the Emerald." He's like, "No, it's being guarded by my finest warrior." And flash to Wade, who's on top of the Green Hills police station. He's playing hockey with the Master Emerald. And I'm like, no, what are you doing? That's so ridiculous. But also, I never in a million years would have thought about that. So that was pretty brilliant, Just caught me off guard, made me laugh. So I commend him for that. And then Sonic's like, Emerald, and Wade's like, no, you're gonna have to get through me. And then he just immediately gives the Emerald to Sonic. Sonic just takes the Emerald. He doesn't put up a fight at all. But but it's sort of sweet that now Knuckles thinks of Wade as a fellow warrior. So that's cool. So I think the intro of the movie was just going to Prison Island. That was great. How kind of like dark and moody that was. Get to see Shadow. It's in Tokyo. It's in Tokyo Bay, and there's Shadow in his little tube, and then you see him slowly wake up, like it's just building tension, and then he breaks out and he beats up all the guys, and the guy's like, "I think we need more guys," and the other guy's like, "God,
these are all the guys we have."
Yeah, all the guys we have, and then Shadow breaks out, and he's like, "Oh, 2024, what the hell happened?" And and just that shot of Shadow standing there in the rain is so moody, and it's just perfect. And he just looks so depressed and broken. I love it. It's great.
It's also funny how the whole time, it's funny how Shadow arrived at Earth, when the 25th of April happened in Portugal and it was stuck during this whole 50 years. Like when 25th of April turns 50 years, then he comes back. Is this a Fire Form or something?
Yeah.
It's Carnation Revolution for those who don't know. It's a Portugal thing.
Well, yay, world history.
Yes, when Portugal became free from dictatorship. There you go, Shadow the Hedgehog. You arrived just right on time.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shadow. Alright, I thought Keanu's performance as Shadow was great. I think probably my favorite Shadow voice we've had in so, like I said, my favorite Shadow voice is always the David Humphrey SA2. But like Keanu's Shadow was great. I and overall just for Shadow, this is like definitely.
Yeah, I guess we could just bring in topic and just jump off before instead of like the previous ones where we all took turns because we're gonna talk about a lot. So Shadow, I think Keanu Reeves' Shadow was really good. Was it the best Shadow? Not sure, but it's also like I'm not here to compare because I don't really compare Sonic characters all that much. But Keanu Reeves did a great job, even if it's Keanu Reeves. But it works. It works for Shadow, I'd say. And you could totally tell when he's like more emotional, when he's more down. Like when for example, spoiler alert, Maria dies, and the face that Shadow looks and the grunts that Keanu's giving is like, like, and it transitions to the present like. Perfect, I'd say. So yeah, I think Keanu Reeves does a good job.
Yeah, I like his performance as Shadow. I think he did a good job. Again, it sounds like himself, like I said before in the commentary, but it works. It works for Shadow. And I think he conveyed the emotional moments really well, as well. He also did some funny moments too, where like, revenge guacamole.
Yeah, revenge guac.
Revenge
I love that.
I love, and again, something I noticed, like I saw actually a post on Twitter today, like how in Sonic Movie 1 we got Sonic. In Sonic Movie 2, we got Knuckles say, "I'll show you the way." And then here, in Sonic Movie 3, they confirmed that Shadow still likes it.
It was Robotnik who said that. I'll be happy.
No. Knuckles said that as well. And then we have Shadow still liking Latinas because he was watching the Spanish telenovela. And he was like, she deserves better than that. She should kill them both.
She's not surprised to be one.
Yeah, I don't. That's my favorite line in the whole movie. Gabrielle is not surprised to be. Kill them both. Like, yeah.
There you go, Shadow. I would love just an audio commentary, like they actually show like the episodes of the telenovela. At least one episode, it's just Shadow commentating on it. That would be so funny.
Going back to the revenge guac thing, I like that it is actually a continuation from a joke in the first movie where, "What's your favorite word, Sonic?" "Oh, my favorite word is guac." And then when Sonic is down before he like beats Robotnik, he's like, "Any last words?" "Guac. That's my favorite word." So like, see revenge guac in the first movie. I like that bit of continuity.
Oh man, they got more in common. Sonic and Shadow, they're so similar, yet so different.
Yep.
It's like the whole movie is about that. Wow.
It's like that whole movie's just a segue into that wallpaper from the 2000s with Sonic Adventure DX and Shadow the Hedgehog's heads smash against each other.
Fun thing about that, I saw a post recently about a girl like, "Oh, you can use the bat." Like this dude was on a date with this girl, and it's like, "Oh, the guy is like, I need to use the bathroom." He's like, "Okay, but don't laugh." And then he sees that specific image at in the bathroom. And he's like, "Oh."
Well.
And then some dude in the comments like, "Marry her."
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, no, Shadow was great. I like Shadow. This time it's not like, for example, with Knuckles, it felt like the movie Knuckles was like the improvement we needed. For the Shadow, we came off the heels of Shadow Generations, which I think that did wonders for his characterization. In the movie, it felt like, it continued. It's there's probably some differences here and there in terms of characterization, but I really like what they did with Shadow. It didn't feel like, he's just edgy or just an emo. No, he still had emotion. He had silly moments. He had a lot of broken moments, like when we get into the Maria's parts of the story. Like they really did that very well. His backstory is, again, we don't have the same context in the games yet. We don't know if Black Doom is a thing. We just know Shadow came down from a comet. That's all we
And
know.
that looks like a miniature black comet.
Wow, Black Comet, there, maybe, yeah.
So
Maybe a Shadow series could, like, you know, him wondering about his past, and then Black Doom appears.
So
Yeah, I want an alien apocalypse show with Shadow the Hedgehog,
there you
please.
go, perfect. That's all we know right now with Shadow, and then unlike in the games, they were not he was not created to cure any diseases or discover the secrets of immortality. Here,
Maria doesn't have any diseases.
yeah, here he was just being used to study. There's some things that some people speculating that maybe again it's Gunn asking for more weapons. But that's again,
possibly.
It's a possibility.
But, like, I mean, it said that he grew too powerful. That's what Commander Walters said.
And again, Commander Walters works for Gunn, so that's his perspective. So we don't have the other side yet, if there is another side. But I like what they did fine enough with the backstory. It's different again, but I don't mind. I think it's just like the Chaos Emerald and the Master Emerald in Sonic Move 2. They're streamlining it a bit so it's easy to digest, and people don't have to read a whole encyclopedia of Sonic lore to understand what's going on.
Even with Adventure 2, like, it's thanks to now Sonic X Shadow Generations that we know a bit more about that story.
Yeah, like, is the game better? Yes, the game has a bigger sense of tragedy. There's a lot of layers going on, while the movie again is more straightforward and everything. There's some things I don't explain.
Yeah,
yes.
but I feel like
it works well enough. Like I said, like it's fine enough, and it's a different continuity. It's gonna be different. Like Maria's not sick here, but that makes it even tragic because she was there just because she was with her grandfather. Makes what happens to her even more tragic because she was not supposed to be there in the first place. It makes it so sad. But then also makes her connection with Shadow all the more stronger because she's there and she grows attached to Shadow naturally because she thinks he's funny. And the scene where she drews the bunny face on Shadow.
Oh my god, that was so cute. And
so
I just love. Oh my god, I just love when she was on her roller skates and Shadow was just like, dragging her around the facility. Oh my god, that was so fun.
Like the whole montage,
food
and just watching movies, and that was just so cute. And I just loved all the Shadow Maria crumbs we got in this movie, and just watching them hang out, and that was just so sweet.
I like that movie that we're watching is Beware of the Alien Freak, and
there's Bio Lizard there, and there's like Bio Lizard there, which it was his only cameo, which is cool. One of the scenes I've seen this gif on Twitter pop up. It's just where they're watching the movie, then Maria just throws a little popcorn at Shadow, and Shadow's like, "Wait, what?" And Maria's like, "Huh? What are you talking about?" Like she felt like an actual kid. She felt like an actual kid, which again, it's different from the game Maria. Where game Maria seems like it's this person who's a very good-natured person who all hell breaks loose around her, but she still keeps a positive outlook, which is it's more like an inspiration. Marie here in the movie felt more like it's an actual kid. She gets into trouble. She likes her things. She likes rollerblades, for example, and she's silly. You just get all the moments we saw. They were not a lot, and I would love to see more, of course, but that's just me being greedy. But the montage alone just paved their relationship so sweet, and of course we know what's coming up, and the trailers even showed, so it's not even a surprise for people going into the movie. And when that scene happened, and here's the thing, we're all memeing about, we're gonna see a 12-year-old get shot in the movie.
Yeah, kind of.
Of course we would. I knew they're not gonna do that, but the way they did it was perfect. Perfect. Air quotes. Scene of the girl being shot perfect.
Yeah, I know. I love how they killed. I love how they killed off this little girl. It was so cinematic, so perfect.
It's like the way they did it was. So she didn't die by a gunshot. She died because one of the gun soldiers was aiming at her, but then someone else, which is we all know it's Commander Walters.
Yeah, it's a young Commander Walters.
When he was like, "No, what are you doing? He's a kid!" And then he prevents the guy to shoot, and the guy shoots a tank that explodes. But what's important in this scene, the guy was still aiming at them. So the intent of that guy was still to shoot her. It's just he doesn't do it, and Commander Walters, in a way, to try to prevent that, make things worse, which is. I'll talk about Commander Walters in a little bit, but in that scene where we see Maria's body, we don't even see her face, we just see her body. And Shadow goes there, and then they do a close-up on Jared Robotnik's face.
And fucking tearing up.
You're like, there's a lot of people saying, oh, was he ever true about his feelings or not? That scene alone, like, he was destroyed. The way he
was
looked.
because we didn't get many scenes between Gerald and Marina. I wish we got like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But like that scene, I think did show that yes, Gerald did care about Marina.
Like, that face was so haunting, like, so sad. And then they don't even put up much of a fight when the gun soldiers were surrounded. They just stand there. Like, that was such a great scene. Like, they conveyed, like, it's different from the games, yes, but the emotion we feel from the game is preserved, which is great, because this is a very important moment in the Shadow story, and I'm glad we still got it in the movie. Done justice. It's different, but it's done justice, and I love that.
But with that, I guess we could transition to talk about Gerald Robotnik in this movie, which is
It's like we are both played by the same actor in the movie. And then they look at the camera.
Yeah, I love that they kept that for the Portuguese dub. It's Luís Barros voicing both.
Both, yeah, it's him. General Robotnik was very interesting for me in this movie. Again, in the games, until Sonic X Shadow Generations, we didn't see him physically. We just knew about him due to backstory. We saw recordings of him, and we know his impact thanks to his inventions and his inspirations for Eggman. Until Shadow Generations, we never saw him, like, physically. So this will technically be the first time we see him, and it's Jim Carrey being Jim Carrey silly, which it's funny now. We have double Jim Carrey, and it never got too annoying. I know people sometimes didn't like that dance sequence that felt like it went on too long. For me personally, I was just having the time of my life. They were just funny. Like, for one, it's impressive because he got the same actress twice, and again, this is an effect that people have done countless times nowadays, having the same actor in the same scene talking to each other. But still, it's felt so seamless. Like, the way they just did it, and I love it. And the connection between Gerald and Robotnik was really interesting, because it's first like, oh, it seemed like he's a family member that Robotnik/Eggman always wanted. Like, in the first movie, they have a throwaway line where it's like, yeah, I was breastfed. And then Tom says, oh, I was breastfed. And then Eggman's like, oh, rub that in my orphan face. Like, so they already were hinting that, oh yeah, he doesn't have a family. Here they really went out. Like, he has no one. I mean, he thinks he has no one. He has Agent Stone.
Yeah, I am undesirable to all possible genders.
Yeah.
My future as a corner sack.
So at first it's like, oh, he's spending, and then we have that whole silly montage with both Eggmans, both Robotniks just bonding and doing the most silly things you can
Eggman
imagine.
lands from Sonic Unleashed's reference. I gotta point that out.
And then, but then, even that, I was always in the back of my mind. I was like, okay, when is this going to be pulled? When is the rug going to be pulled under our feet? When's going to be the twist? When's that time? And when we finally got. Not the Arc, sorry, it's the Eclipse Cannon.
Yes, the Eclipse Cannon is just by itself, because what happened is that Gerald, I think they should say in the movie, Gerald was arrested for like 50 years, and then he designed the Eclipse weapon as like a trade for his freedom, which I find kind of funny, because then like, oh, right afterwards, oh, you release this Shadow and he plans to like kill everybody. Gunn weren't really smart with that one.
Well, I mean, to be fair, that's how it is. This is how it is here. I mean, do you know how many people we have murderers and
you know what?
such, and then they're just, and then like, maybe they get locked up for 10 years, and then they're allowed to walk free, and then they go and kill, and then they just kill somebody else. That's just that's accurate. That's accurate.
You know what?
Too.
True. You guys are Americans. I'm still European. I wouldn't know.
Rhino.
Let's skip the bit up.
Okay.
So then he designed the Eclipse Cannon, and I guess it could sort of tie that to a bit of Shadow Generations as well, where in Gerald's journal he talks about how he designed the Eclipse Cannon just to keep Gunn off his back.
Yeah.
So now it's like, okay, yeah, he designed the Eclipse Cannon once again, but this time in exchange for his freedom from Gunn. And now it's like it's gonna be the whole Earth, the whole planet's undoing. So I was, at first I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna get Space Colony Arc in the movie, but now that I'm like, yeah, the Arc's not really relevant for the movie continuity. And the whole thing just being reduced to the Eclipse Cannon, I think is fine. That like a lot of decisions they made, it just makes it more streamlined, easy to follow. I mean, we got to see a big nose laser, guys. We got to see the moon.
And they pissed on the moon! They pissed on the moon!
Yeah.
I did it! I did it! Oh, look what you guys did!
I love that scene. It was like... I'll talk about Knuckles and Tails a little bit afterwards, but no.
Yeah.
And then, when we got to the arc, the Space Colony, I'm gonna call it Space Colony. It's Eclipse Cannon arc, it's both. And that's where we finally learned this real motivation. And I do think it's a bit too sudden. Again, I have to rewatch the movie again. I should paraphrase. I should say I only saw the movie once. So there's probably
I
gonna
watched
be
it twice.
there's probably gonna be some scenes that I probably didn't notice that were foreshadowing that maybe some way he says certain lines to Robotnik. That Gerald said some lines to Robotnik that will imply, oh yeah, no, he's turning evil. He doesn't really like Eggman that much. But then at the end, when he just says the line, oh, Ivo Robotnik, you're no Maria. And I'm like, dude, what the hell? Like, there's no, like, it's kind of like Scar in Lion King 1. Let's not talk about the live action, please. Like, that scene in when, Mufasa dies and Simba is sad, and then Scar would have just let the hyenas kill him. No, Scar made sure to arrive there and say, look what you've done, Simba. If it weren't for you, your dad would still be alive. Oh, what will your mother think? It's the same thing with Gerald, like, he already won at this point. He already thinks he won. He already has the Eclipse Cannon ready to fire. He has no reason to be mean to Eggman. And yet he just says, you're no Marie. I'm like, dude!
It's because Ivo says, like, because he reveals his plans, like, oh, the Eclipse Cannon will destroy everybody, including us. And it's like, what? No, we should rule humanity. It's like, we have each other, right? He's like, oh, Ivo, you're no Maria. It's like, shit, man.
Like, ah. And then that's when Eggman teams up with Knuckles and Tails. That they appear on board, and we get that scene with the piss on the moon scene when they are like, "Yeah, we did. We
what's the pressure for how Gerald died? Because that scene was like so fucking.
Yeah, like that's so funny. Like, so he's fighting Eggman, like they're doing like a little wacky Jim Carrey style slapstick comedy, and then what happens. And then when he grabs the Sonic Squill, Sonic Squill has like electric properties. He puts it on his ass. He's like, he goes up, and then he goes like,
it's a glorified fart choke. That's what it is.
Yeah, because he dies like a fly on the fly swatter, like on the fly electric swatter, like
on the core, on the remains of the core.
Yeah, like it's so funny. Like, Jim Carrey definitely the highlights, and to end at least my part of what I think about Jim Carrey Eggman, it was nice seeing Eggman have like a character arc again. Like, he has a hidden character arc we never fought until we see Sonic 3, where it's like, yeah, he realized what's really important. He sacrificed himself for the humanity. He desperately wanted to rule. And then he makes his announcement with Ancient Stone, and it's like...
I was cheered up in the movie. I was close.
Like, that scene, it was silly, some things you said, but, like, you can tell, it's like, out of all these people, you were the one I hated the least. And it's like,
No, he said, you were more than a sycophant to me. You were a sickle friend.
Like,
I will miss your lattes with sea moisture and goat milk. I love the way you make them. And then by the end, he's like, it's been a real drag. Thanks for nothing. Like, oh.
That was such a great scene. Like, a great send-off to Eggman until further notice. But that was a great scene.
Said he's willing to do a fourth, provided that it interests him. But the reason why he made the third one is because I needed the money.
Hey, not fair. Yeah, at least he's being honest.
Yeah. Yeah, and then with the way they did his death in Sonic Movie 3, it's like, okay, they could kill him off. They could come up with some bullshit how the explosion made some kind of a rip in the time-space continuum and he got teleported to another dimension or time and survived.
Or so maybe just the Shadow just teleported him out. I mean, he teleported himself, as we know, because...
Yeah.
Yeah, Shadow can teleport.
Spoiler, he survives.
Yeah, one of the post-credit scenes shows Shadow surviving, so there you go.
Yeah, what an inhibitor ring. Yeah, she uses inhibitor rings. That's awesome. It's like, and Chaos Spear as well.
And it was on a motorcycle and had a gun.
A gun!
Oh my god, the gun! No, the gun was crazy.
Like in a PG movie, fuck.
I know. I never thought. I thought outside of the Sonic Lego dimensions, I didn't think Shadow would have a gun ever again.
And there you go.
The way they made it is that it's not a realistic gun; it's a laser gun. So I guess.
There you go. But again, Shadow and Eggman were definitely the highlights for me in this movie. And for the rest of the cast, I like Sonic. I do think there's a bit of some retrend from the second movie, like, oh, we start up with the scene with Sonic and Tom having a father-son moment, and then there's like a retrend of the beach scene that I praised when we're talking about Sonic Movie 2, with Sonic and Shadow.
On the moon.
On the moon. We'll get there a little bit.
It's really beautiful to look at.
Yeah. We'll get there a little bit when we talk about why Sonic and Shadow were on the moon, but I still like it enough. Again, just showing more why we like these characters. I like the little fake out when it's like, oh, we're doing a race. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure Tails and Knuckles know Sonic as fast, but whatever. And then it's like, oh, the race is a decoy because they're celebrating the time the anniversary when he came to Earth. Then we see his old place, the living grieving with the Long Claw, the Green Hill, the Loopy. It was a great scene. And then they are in contact with Gunn, they go on the missions, then they go to Chow Garden.
Low-budget fights, no food or movies. We're out of here.
Ian Flynn, did you write that? Good job, buddy. Because there's no reason there's no reason for that line. It's just a reference. Like, Ian Flynn, did you write that, buddy?
But it makes sense considering where they are.
Yeah, it's for us. Again, I'm saying this, not that I didn't like it. I loved it. It's just, it felt like a style of it felt when he does a reference, I should say. Because, just a little paraphrase, because this is still a point of contention in Sonic. I don't think Ian Flynn's style writing is references. Anyone who read the comics knows it's not this, or who played Sonic Frontiers. Just his references were a bit too out of line. And Sonic Generations rewrite didn't help that. But I do like his writing. It just sometimes the references go a bit offhand. And this one felt like one, but I still enjoyed it. I know exactly what they were referencing, and I was happy and giddy. Anyway. Chow Garden. That's what I'm going to say. Chow Garden.
Oh, the Chow Garden.
Chow Garden, that's fun.
Yeah, I like... I think that's a creative way to implement the Chow Garden by making it a mascot reference. Or like a mascot reference. Mascot restaurant, sorry. The little Pokemon is canon in the Sonic movie universe.
Pika!
Pika Tails is a normal flying type Pokemon.
Yay!
That
Knuckles
was pretty...
is a ground flying type, I guess.
Or ground fighting, I think.
Ground fighting. And Sonic would be what? Electric? Electric wind?
I mean, I guess... Well, like, wind is often associated with... Wouldn't be... I guess Sonic would be like... I can see Sonic being like electric normal.
Yeah, especially now in the movies where they really go in with the electric powers.
Yeah, I'm saying wind because he was also known as the Nine of the Wind.
No, he's free like the wind.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, no. Sonic himself, I love his character arc. I like how, again, he starts off really connected to his family. Still thinking about Longclaw, even though, again, this movie didn't really do much with Sonic to introduce. Which, to be honest...
This is the Adventure 2 show.
Yeah, and honestly... would I love to see more? Yes. Especially since this is part of exclusive to the movies. I don't think it was needed for this movie, though. This movie knew exactly... Yeah, this movie knew exactly what it wanted to focus on, and I don't think that plot with Longclaw was necessary, in my opinion. So I'm glad... again, streamlined. Knuckles and Tails
what else would you add for the Longclaw stuff?
Yeah. Just maybe more about her, I'd say. But again, we can talk about that when we get to Sonic 4. Knuckles and Tails were great in this movie. I was worried they would get overshadowed by Shadow, not unlike what happened to Tails in Sonic Movie 2. But they weren't. Of course, they were not the focus, and they didn't need to be. But I still like they having their own moments. They were still with Sonic. They still had their great chemistry. Their sibling bond was really strong and lighthearted and heartwarming to see.
I like that Tails doesn't have the only Sonic Hedgehog. He feels like more like the games, actually.
Yeah, like he never says only Sonic the Hedgehog with you. This no. Yeah. Knuckles was great. Again, that scene where we mentioned before about Sonic wanted the emeralds. The reason why is because due to some shenanigans, Tom had to pretend to be the gun.
The Commander Walters. Seems like Commander Walters, and he punches him so hard that Tom goes like cautious, and then he sees that. Oh wait, it was something. He's like, what? And then he sees Sonic, and when he sees Sonic, like, Tom, wake up, wake up, wake up. He just reminds himself of the Maria moment. He's like. For a moment, that's why Shadow's character arc makes sense, because he always was like, wait, maybe I do have a choice, you know?
Yeah.
Unlike Gerald, which the moment he said, woman in the military,
oh god, that joke like absolutely slapped me across the face when I heard that.
That was
I
like,
can't believe it. Yes, the grandson has women in the military. He's like, fuck.
like what?
The guy is 110 years old. He's about to get dated.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that scene was. Did I knew they were not gonna kill Tom? Yes, but like the way Sonic is panicking, grabbing onto him, and Shadow realized, like you said, Rhino, the implications. Like, am I no better than him? Like, do I have a choice in the matter? And then, but then he still doubles down because he knows, oh, it was too old, it's too late. And then Sonic, of course, wants the Master Emerald to turn super, and they made a pact in Sonic movie to not use it. And then we have a
Actually, it wasn't in
scene
the movie. It was off screen.
off screen. And then I mean, they say they were the protectors, but no, but they about using it or not.
But the pact itself was not.
Yeah, it was not.
until
No,
now.
there's only now. They said we made a pact not to use it, and then you see Sonic and Knuckles having a very heated argument. That could easily have been the third art breakup, and it technically is. But what I like,
But Knuckles is like.
no, Knuckles is the one who backs down. He backs down because he says, "I'm gonna keep my promise, even though you're choosing to break it." And then you see Tails in the middle. Like, this felt again as realistic as this scenario is, like an actual discussion fight among family members, among siblings, among brothers. Tails in the middle. He's the youngest. Sonic is the middle sibling, and he's fighting going against the big brother Knuckles. But then Knuckles is the one who backs down, and he says, "Okay, I'll let you use it, but beware, it's being guarded by my trusted steed, my trusted knight." And it's just wait.
Wait.
Good to know that
Sonic,
Knuckles.
I've sworn to protect it at all costs. And then, well, I tried.
Well, that's right. Good to know that Knuckles' show was worth something. But yeah, no, Sonic, Tails and Knuckles were great. I do think, yes, Knuckles had a lot more jokes this time, and I was worried they would go make him the meathead comic relief character. But thankfully
God,
not.
no.
He was definitely more jokey. Definitely more jokey. But
Yes.
that was not the case. Like, he was like,
I
when...
want to break glass.
Like, only in case of emergency, Knuckles.
Even my teeth are muscle. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then in the
I
end,
like
when...
that London scene in general. And then Sonic is just running. He's like, yeah, Paul, John, George, the other one. A lot of American coming through.
That was great. Nah, the whole plan scene of them coming up with a plan alongside Tom and Maddie was really cool. When Tom and Maddie got the disguises of the other, I forgot their name, but like her Maddie's sister, Rachel and
Randall.
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 Yeah, with this guy as those two was really cool. Then Maddie got into Rachel's role, like, I want to go over there. In the security, that was so funny.
And the next scene I liked is like, oh, let's try blowing on the USB drive. It's like, and Tails like, it's been scientifically proven that there's like, and, oh, it worked. From the 90s, the best decade.
Sometimes it's just the belief that it will work is what makes it work.
Yeah, you just gotta believe.
Psychological.
No, but they were great too. At the end, where Sonic is falling towards the earth after using the emeralds, Tails goes there, tries to grab him, and he actually manages to pull him through, but then he also goes unconscious, and then Knuckles goes in and saves the day.
I love that scene, especially with the music in the background, the station exploding, and Shadow's like you feel like he was almost gonna cry remembering things before he explodes. Like, I love that final scene, dude. Like, epic, big cinema. That's what it is. Big cinema.
And then we gotta talk about this scene. This is something we haven't seen this since Sonic X, which is a Sonic versus Shadow super fight. Super Sonic versus Super Shadow. First, Super Sonic appears, he grabs Shadow, and for the first time in the movie, he actually is dominating the fight, even though Shadow is still defending himself. But then when Shadow punches Sonic and manages to grab the emeralds and turn Super Shadow, and then we have just a whole...
He's silver!
Like, we have a great fight scene. Like, again, I love Dragon Ball Z, love Super Sonic, so yeah, this just...
I enjoy the fight scene, even if I don't like... Okay, I don't like Dragon Ball. It's just like, you know.
Hey, Klaus, Dragon Ball is awesome, right?
Yeah. Well, as a huge Dragon, and also as a huge fan of Mario Bros. I was
Mario
very
Bros.
happy to see this fight.
There you go, perfection.
Yeah.
We just needed...
I'll put it in the description. Sorry if Klaus's mic kind of been wonky.
It's causing issues. I swear. Okay, yeah, no. You know,
it's causing issues.
Oh I swear to God, why is it doing this to me?
If
Why?
I ever make a best of Run Battle 2024, 2025.
Okay, you know what? Okay, guys, when I get money to burn, I'm gonna get Mike, this is pissing me off. This is pissing me off. Okay, so
Damn.
seeing like Shadow and Sonic fight like that on the big screen was just like gave me flashbacks to all those old sprite animations back in the day of Sonic and Shadow beating the shit out of each other, and god damn it made me happy.
I was so happy too. Like it's so
happy.
I like the scene where Super Sonic punches Shadow so hard that he goes to another part of the planet and just slip around the whole planet. It's like, holy shit.
Like now again, the fight scenes were great, and then we have the scene on the moon, which again, like I said, it's a retrend of the beach scene with Sonic and Knuckles. But here, I like it. It's still distinct enough. For one, again, like Rhino said, the scenery is different and beautiful to look at, like just on the moon, looking at the Earth, and then something that the movie really hammered in. Even the gun commander even said like, "Oh, Sonic, Shadow is like you, but while you had friends, Shadow had nothing," or something along those lines.
Fear has only pain and loss.
Like seeing them talk to each other, just realizing everything. Like how you can still have a choice in the matter, how you don't have to follow this path. Like you still have a family and friends to cheer you on, and if you don't have one right now, you'll find them. Eventually, you have to move on. Then they both just team up, have a Sonic X Shadow moment, turn super again.
And hanging on the edge.
Yeah, oh, that was so awesome. Even if it was short, like it was awesome. Like I get so excited.
Yeah, they
like
teased us so much. They teased us so much with that song, and then when it finally plays, it's just the first lyrics. It's like, okay,
yeah, it's just like an Adventure 2 actually. In Adventure 2, there were multiple scenes and songs played throughout the game that tease the live and learn. In
gotta
the middle.
learn and live. Like in Seaga's gameplay, you gotta live and learn.
And Sonic Movie 3 is also the same thing. There's music before that kind of tease live and learn until the big moments. Like, I love that.
It's like, yeah. Oh,
ready to recycle some tin cans, just trying to keep up. Like, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it.
Again, and then that final scene, I do wish was a bit more climatic in the sense. Again, climatic in the sense. In Sonic 2, we had a giant bio lizard to fight. Here we have gun robots, which for us Sonic fans, we know who they are. But I was talking to my girlfriend who she hasn't seen the gun robots. She's like, oh, I was confused about who those robots were. It's like,
oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
because
also makes sense that the gun robots were there because this was designed by the gun. Might as well put some of their.
Yeah, but like we haven't seen those gun robots until right now in the movie again, which makes sense. But at the same time, it's just a visual element. Seeing Sonic and Shadow just teaming up, fighting so many countless robots together in space, like, perfect.
Oh god! And then the pose, like,
At the pause, yeah, I was like, oh my god. Yeah, no, we all know like people are gonna screenshot that and they've made that the background on their PCs.
Yeah. It's also good for nights because it's in space, so it's not so, heavy on your eyes.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
That whole scene was great. And then Shadow and Eggman team up to sacrifice themselves because it's like, even though they are preventing the laser from reaching the Earth, we also this thing, if this blows up, is gonna again crash on the Earth like a meteorite. We have to make sure.
No, it's because the nuclear energy would have spread into the clouds and would have killed a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically nuclear fallout, post-apocalypse, not good. Not good.
Yeah, that's no good. And so they sacrifice
Vaya con
themselves.
Dios, erizo e pestoso.
It's again, we already talked about the. So it's funny how Shadow, he does this, but then Eggman is the one who has a very climatic and emotional sacrifice scene, which is, again, we talked about it, it's great.
They knew Shadow was coming back.
Yeah.
I mean, Adventure 2, it's kind of funny looking back, because Adventure 2, they didn't tease Shadow at all. They were like, he's dead, but then he's got so popular, it's like, no, okay, we'll bring him back. But with the movie, it's like, yeah, we know people like him, let's bring him back.
Yeah, so I do appreciate the post-credits scene at the end with Shadow, and because I was like, me and my brother, I saw the movie with my brother. We were the only people left in the theater at that point, so all the other poor people, they walked out and they never got to see Shadow lit. Oh,
yeah, same thing happened to me in both of my experiences. Well, in the second viewing experience, I was like, oh.
No, in the first one, you can tell the people in the room were big Sonic fans. So, no, we were there. we kept there. Me and my friends who were watching the movie, we kept there.
Yeah, like my theater was mostly families, parents, grandparents taking their young kids to see Sonic.
Yeah.
So they were just there for the kids, and all the kids they had Sonic plushies with them too. So they were very committed. It was sweet. It just makes me so happy.
His Tails plushie, that was cool.
Oh yeah. No, it just makes me so happy to see like more people getting into Sonic because I think every kid deserves a chance in their life to be obsessed with Sonic the Hedgehog. I think that just makes a happier childhood for sure.
Welcome to the fan base. We have plenty of goofies and plenty of arguments.
Both at the same time.
What?
Yeah.
No, great movie. For this, like I said, Sonic Movie 2, when I first saw it, I felt that was the Sonic movie I want to see as a kid. This one is the Sonic movie. I know this is the movie I want to see as a kid. Playing Sonic Heroes, playing Shadow the Hedgehog, playing the classic games, seeing countless videos on YouTube. Some that I probably shouldn't have watched at that age, but whatever. Just that made me a Sonic fan. This felt like, oh, I'm feeling that on the big screen. It's different in some areas, but still carries the spirit and the emotion that made me love this franchise so very much. And I'm seeing it on the big screen. Countless people are seeing. I'm talking right now with 2 friends of mine about it, all for the whole intranet. So,
Yay!
like, I'm glad we are in this timeline where they changed the design in Sonic Movie 1, and we got 3 great movies and a great comic prequel and 1 TV show with Knuckles. And wait, the Flip of Disaster.
It's funny for me because I never actually thought about getting a Sonic movie when I got introduced to the series. I like movies, I like Sonic, but I never combined the 2 thoughts. But then when we saw these movies, I was already old enough to know that it's like, okay, they're probably gonna screw this up. But they didn't. And it's like, wait, will Sonic Movie 3 actually be good? It was good. Very good. Great. Amazing. No, it's good. Great. Awesome.
Outstanding. Amazing.
Oh, God. But we're not in Fallout Fallout yet. There's some other stuff I want to talk. Mainly, there was a character in the movie that we just kind of brushed aside, and it was Director Rockwell, played by Kristen Ritter. She just kind of was in the movie.
She was honestly, I don't say disappointment because I was not expecting too much, but like I wish they used her more. It's like she at first appears, she's the one who hires, and she says, "Oh, I knew they couldn't be trusted," and it's like okay, and then she just appears, and then she gets tricked very easily by Tom, and like. Don't you know your superior is probably in the hospital or dead or something? You think it's him? Like, what? And then we never see her again. I'm like, really? That's it? So much. The actress, she's great. So, like, she was in the Jessica Jones, for example, and some other shows. Like, she's like, really? That's it for this character? That's the only part of like. But again, I don't think it's a major point because again, I was not expecting too much of her, and even she doesn't contribute, her or whoever would be that character doesn't contribute much to the whole plot besides just being an antagonistic force.
She's not even in the trailers.
Yeah, so it's like a lot of people were thinking maybe she would be Rouge in disguise because they did show that Tails has the machinery to make duplicates and holograms. People were thinking, oh, maybe she's Rouge. Nah. Until further notice, nah.
Well, watch Breaking Bad. You'll see her in a better world.
I mean, the fact that we brush her aside during this whole conversation should tell you.
Yeah, because after, like, Commander Walter's thing, it's just like, yeah, she doesn't really come back at all. Because the movie is just so focused on, Bo, we gotta do this epic finale. It's like, yeah, I'm glad that they do. You know what? I'm glad that there's no big scene that doesn't really happen in the movie. The closest is, like, the dancing between the 2 robots. That one was fun. So, like, yeah, I'm glad that this movie just, in retrospect, yeah, the movie pacing is a bit fast, but like, actually, now in retrospect, I don't mind that because it's just go from scene to scene to scene. It's just a fun ride from beginning to end.
Yeah, it's focused. It just basically stays on track, and I think that's better. That's fine. I'm okay with shorter movies. Not every movie needs to be like 2 hours with like scenes that meander.
Yeah, no movie needs to be the Batman 2020. Actually, I forgot. When
22. But I mean, that movie was.
No.
Well,
Again, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. At least the first time, I did feel a bit overwhelmed. Like, no movie needs to be that long or endgame long. Shorter movies are appreciated.
This movie is actually shorter than movie 2. Movie 2 was 2 hours. This one is an hour and 50, and that's counting the credits. So.
Speaking of credits.
Okay.
Living things kneel
Before we go there. Anything else you want to add from the movie itself?
Yeah. I guess I got a couple things.
Okay.
I like that they acknowledge Knuckles' fear of ghosts. Sort of call back to all the stuff he was doing in the pyramid and fighting King Boom Boo. He was like them watching the ghost with Tails and Sonic Casper the friendly ghost. Knuckles like there are no friendly. No, no, and then when they were in the abandoned science facility, just Shadow kind of sneaking around, being all creepy and like saying "boo."
Boom.
Like,
That was cool.
that was great. That was great.
Where
It's
did
good to
you
see
go, Hedgehog?
Shadow.
I wasn't
Yeah,
finished trauma jumping.
Yeah, so it's good to see like a Shadow with a bit of a sense of humor here, and and I just love the environmental storytelling in the bunker when Sonic sees all the destruction. He's like, "Oh my God, man, there are people living here. Oh, wow, what the hell happened?" Yeah,
You see the roller base when Shadow was there earlier, and then that's when we got to the montage.
yeah.
The thing that I love about the montage is that the music plays, and then Maria and Shadow have that conversation, then the music plays again, and then it just immediately cuts to the present where the vinyl stops. And I love that. I love that so much.
Yeah, and another important thing, and then this will tie to the other post-credits scene. I think, for the sake of this movie, I think it's good that Sonic was the one to get through to Shadow, and I feel like that was definitely held a lot more weight and was a lot more fitting than the alternative that we had in SA.
Which was a character that barely did anything in that game.
Yeah. So I know that.
Sonic from prison.
Yeah, and I know that people really wanted this character in the film, right? But let's be real, she did not need to be there.
Yeah.
She really wouldn't have added anything, and I think the movie being focused on Shadow, I think that was the best move, because there's already enough characters going on.
Yes.
You know,
Like,
we don't need
Sonic
any...
is one of those characters. That is one of those series that has a shit ton of characters. Especially just take it one at a time. Like last time, we could already, like in movie 2, we already saw that Tails was a bit overshadowed from Knuckles. So like, let's keep it focused on Shadow and the robot.
Yeah, because Shadow is the most hype character after Sonic. Like,
Yes.
Yeah, so I think that was the best move that they could have done. So, yeah.
It was. I do want to add one thing that I forgot to mention earlier, is that seeing Jim Carrey in these movies, while he slowly becomes more Robotnik, it's nice to see as someone who grew up with his movies, like The Mask and Ace Ventura, because, and I'm not sure if I ever told you guys, the reason why I'm so expressive, the reason why I have these wacky animations, is I express myself so much in the face and the body, is because I was inspired by Jim Carrey when I was a kid. So seeing him on the big screen related to Sonic is like, it's kind of special,
Yeah.
He's an inspiration for me too. Like I cannot imagine like the toll he takes to act like this. Like he acts like a 2D character.
He's like 60 now.
Yeah, and yet he still acts like a 2D cartoon. Like, and he's having the time of his life. You can tell he's enjoying himself. He definitely needs some money too, but he's enjoying himself.
No, he likes playing as Eggman. He's stated so ever since the first movie. He likes that dichotomy with him and Sonic. He really likes that.
So that's awesome.
And don't his grandkids also like Sonic as well?
I think so.
Yeah.
And also, this is very big for a guy who normally doesn't do sequels. Like, after the second Ace Ventura movie, he never really did a sequel ever again. Until this, where he does not only one, but 2 sequels. And in the second sequel, the third movie, he does 2 characters. Like, holy shit. This is... It really goes to show how much he likes this.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Spring? Do you want to add anything more?
No, like I said, I really enjoyed this movie.
Yeah. So, alright. Post credits. Alright.
Dun 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 ding dun 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 dun. Metal Sonic is in.
And Metal Sonic.
I'm gonna talk about Metal Sonic. I'm gonna talk about Metal Sonic first because he's my
Yes.
boy. I love Metal Sonic. He's my favorite
He's a
Sonic
Terminator.
villain.
The robot.
We don't know. Here's the thing. When he first appeared, I'm like, wait, Metal Sonic? And then he looked straight out of the games. He does have some differences. For example, he has a Mega Buster, like Mega Man, so that's kind of cool.
Oh, yeah.
And then when he first appears, like, wow. And then we saw all the other Metal Sonics, like, wait, what? An army of Metal Sonics? And then a friend of mine actually pointed this, how the first one we see, you can see is bluish. All the others look a bit grayish.
Yeah, dark gray. I know
Dark gray. I'm not sure if it was like any coloring or the lighting, if that was the intention, but you can definitely see, oh, there's one main Metal Sonic and there's others. And that's something we don't see in the games. We have different Metal Sonics, but they have different designs. We have Mecha Sonic, either Sonic 2 or Sonic 3's Mecha Sonic. We have Silver Sonic in the Game Gear games. We have Mecha Knuckles, and he looks completely different as expected. Tails all. We have a lot of different duplicates of the characters, but they all look different. with the exception of in the comics, where we have the Metal Madness, where there's like an whole army of Metal Sonics.
Metallics,
Which is...
from the European Sonic comic.
Which, if that was a point of reference, that's really cool, and it was just awesome to see them there. They looked amazing, and I cannot wait to see how this is gonna go out. And then she appeared.
And she's in the hood, which some people predicted, and I was like, oi, shit.
Yeah, that's actually kind of crazy. It's like, yeah, I know you guys must have been working. You guys had, she was in it. Yeah, I like that they established Amy just as already being like a badass, just wrecking the army of Metal Sonic. So,
Sonic is gonna develop a crush on her.
It would be funny. Now it's the opposite. I do feel.
Yeah, I think they did an interview with like the writers, Pat Casey and Josh Miller, and they said that next movie, Sonic is growing up, and now he has to face the biggest challenge of all: girls. Oh, cooties, those.
I do hope they do keep her a bit of the bubbly personality, and because here's the thing, there's a point of contention nowadays when you want to make a girl boss character. Like Disney is trying desperately to do one, and again, I'm not a, like go ahead, Klaus, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say you can have a really like cute girly girl with a bubbly personality who's still a badass.
For example, that's one of the people are
yeah.
comparing with like Peach from the Mario movie versus Peach from the games. How she's a lot more like badass, but she loses a bit of her bubbly personality. Not that she doesn't have it, she still has it, but you can definitely say it's more downplayed than in the movies, in the Mario movie. So now Amy's in an interesting position because she appears saving Sonic. We don't know how she is personality-wise because she just looks at him. She doesn't even say a thing, Bob, because they don't.
Because they don't know.
They know who's gonna voice her. It'd be funny if they put Cindy Robinson again, and then it's like, oh no, we like Cindy Robinson, so there we go. She's gonna be Amy again.
That's actually a kind of a question. What actress would you see playing Amy?
Man, I don't know because I don't really follow a lot of actresses.
Yeah, me neither.
So I don't have any thoughts on that. I mean,
No.
you guys know I'm only obsessed with the actor. So
Yeah.
I can't say anything.
No, Mads
Mikkelsen plays Amy.
Mads Nicholson as Amy. There you go. I cracked the code.
I was gonna just say a random prediction.
No. I say Lady Gaga, and it's like gonna be like a Joker 2 moment. Let's go.
Oh my god.
No.
I was just gonna say randomly like Kaylee Kuko, but she was Amy in the Big Bang Theory, and she actually voiced Harley Quinn recently.
Is that Amy from Big Bang
Penny,
Theory? She was
What
Penny.
did I say? It was Penny. It was Penny.
Her voice would fit. She was also Brandy in Brandy and Mr. Whiskers.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
I mean, her voice, if she does the voice like she did with that show, I've seen some clips of the English version of this cartoon, it would fit Amy.
Yeah. But we'll see. I mean,
if that's the case, I hope they do a joke where like she's in her base or whatever, and then Sonic's like, Amy, just a little callback to Big Bang Theory. That'd be funny. But yeah, no, Amy and Metal Sonic, great to see them there. They look great. Metal Sonic especially. Amy looks really cool and intriguing. Curious to see what they're going to do for her character. I hope and I'm sure she's going to get the same respect that Shadow and Knuckles had in their respective movies, and even Tails to a certain extent.
I just wonder what the story is going to be.
I have my ideas.
So obvious. Now
I have my ideas. I've been talking to some people, like Alex and my girlfriend Bibs. We've been talking, and an idea that I've seen circling is really potentially Sonic ran too fast in this race, and now he finds himself in the future. And this is like Ryan was saying, like, it's like a Terminator movie now. He's in the future.
I said that because Metal Sonic appears like the Terminator.
Yeah, like we have robots like the Terminator, but this time there are Metal Sonics roaming around. Amy has to find a way to save everyone, and so she teams up with present day Sonic. And that's how Eggman comes back. It's a new Eggman from the different timeline from the future.
Eggman Nega.
It's Eggman Nega.
Oh my god, this sounds convoluted for a first movie.
Yeah, wait, no. Then if they're in the future, future, that means Silver Hedgehog.
Silver the Hedgehog.
My god. But are they gonna introduce him right away when they're already introducing Metal Sonics and Amy? Shouldn't they save him for like a fifth movie?
No, I'm gonna be real. I don't even know if Silver's gonna appear in the Sonic movies, because I know that we love Silver the Hedgehog, but like, overall Silver
don't care.
They don't care. Yeah, they associate with Sonic 06, and let's be real, outside of 06 and the Rivals games, and like the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, Silver doesn't have much presence. I mean, I know he's like he's like really cool in the comics, right? But Silver is not like a hype character.
Yeah.
Like he would definitely not. He's not taking over Rouge or.
Nah, he is not. Here's the thing about
Yeah,
Silver.
people prefer cleavage. You know?
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about Silver. In our circles of Sonic fans, especially in the 2000s, he was always paired up with Shadow and Sonic again because of 06. So we always made it feel like, oh, he's like the big center focus like he was, but in reality, he never really was. Like, it was really just Shadow and Sonic. So I don't.
But in the story of 06, it was actually Shadow and Silver stories that were more important.
Important than Sonic's.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense for Silver. It's his debut, so it would be nice. It's important to make him. His story actually matters something. Even with all its
it
faults.
would be nice if we actually got an adaptation of 06 into the movies, just to make the plot good.
Oh my god.
Well, imagine if it's not Solaris, it's not Iblis, it's just Mephiles, the main villain. He's just manipulating everybody.
Honestly, I'd be cool with that. Because I mean, Solaris is just like a destructive
Monster
being
of the week.
that doesn't talk, right? But Mephiles is so like it's like so entrancing every time.
Yeah, like, he's a really cool villain, one of the best Sonic villains, so if the movie can just focus solely on him and no convoluted plot of him forming with Solaris and just him being a bad guy in the sidelines pulling the strings, that's perfect. Because here's the thing, we don't know so far who is the one controlling the Metal Sonics, if they're being controlled by anyone, but I assume someone built them. And I have to guess, one again, Eggman again, Jim Carrey as Eggman, Robot Eggman from the future. And the other, which is, I always thought this is how they introduced Metal Sonic. It's Ancient Stone. He rebuilt Metal Sonic with a quill that Eggman always had of Sonic. I thought, because they always show Eggman with the quill, but he never, besides in the Sonic movie 2, where he managed to power up like a teleporter when Knuckles appears.
Yeah.
We don't see him use it beside, I guess, in the climax when he fights his grandpa.
He does lose it. The thing is that he does lose the quill at the end of Sonic Movie 2. That's why he gains a new one at the beginning of Movie 3.
And we never see him use it anymore, so I thought he always had it. But,
he just wants to get off on it.
so, it would maybe Agent Stone use one of the Sonic squills that he made Metal Sonic, and now he's the villain, because I lost Robotnik, so now I am the one who's going to conquer the world, and he managed to do it.
That's a possibility. I mean, there's so many ideas we could go for this, because, mainly because the characters we're seeing is like, okay, this could be based off of CD, but, like, CD is a classic Sonic game. They can't just stretch that plot,
Unless they do Sonic CD mixed with Sonic 06, and Silver and Amy are actually a duo of time travelers.
Sonic Heroes.
Don't play with my heart. Don't play with my heart. We need the Chaotix
first.
first.
The main Metal Sonic we saw, the blue one, actually becomes Metal Overlord by the end.
Oh, that would be so
That would
sick.
be cool. It'd be cool if, like, for example, Shadow is absent throughout the movie, then he appears at the end to join in the final battle. There you go, like Sonic Heroes.
Yeah, I was doing laundry. Sorry for the wait.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely looking forward to the future.
Switch too.
No, I was watching my telenovelas.
Yeah.
Eating my coffee beans.
I was watching my telenovela.
Making
You know
walk.
that Gabriella is now trying to fight on her own?
No, Gabriella, now she's the one in charge. It's the sequel of the show. I'm liking it, actually.
Whoa.
Yeah, actually, the future of Shadow and I say Knuckles because I think Idris Elba has gone on record saying he wants a show with him and Keanu
In
Reeves.
Shadow?
So, you know what? For a season 2 of Knuckles, to actually have Knuckles and Shadow interact, I just hope Shadow's overshadow Knuckles, like Wade did in season 1, but it would be nice to see them two interact.
It's a character most people, really enjoy.
Have at least 1 or 2 episodes with Shadow, where him and Knuckles actually interact, because Shadow does interact a lot with Tails and Knuckles. Again, we know why, because of how the plot goes.
Well,
it would be nice to see him.
That is false. Tails gets kicked by Shadow a lot.
By that logic, he also interacted with Knuckles when he twisted his knuckles. Right.
Exactly.
Anyway, what I was saying, it would be nice to see here this version of Knuckles interact with this version of Shadow. It would be like a duo. I don't know. Actually, I had a question for you guys about the TV show. I know there's like the main bad guy from the TV show. I forgot his name. You guys said, but I forgot. And there are two the henchwoman and the henchman. They actually look kind of cool.
Oh wait, sorry, the other bad guy, because the main guy turns out to be Piss and Peach, but the other bad guy that barely appears until the last episode is called the Buyer.
Yeah, the Buyer. Maybe he could be like the main villain of the TV shows, and maybe now Knuckles and Shadow actually fight him. I don't know, something like I
It
would
was
love
so
to see.
forgettable. That's
I
like,
know. See, that's exactly why they need to bring Black Doom to the Sonic
yeah.
cinematic universe, and he's the villain somehow. But maybe he doesn't show up until way later. I don't really know how they would make that work.
So
but,
Black Doom was the one who created Metal Sonic in the movieverse. Understood.
Yeah.
That would be weird, but fuck it, we ball.
We fucking big ball. But yeah, no, this
So much
guy,
to talk about.
like, nah, I'm looking forward to Sonic Movie 4 whenever that comes out. I would love
That's
another.
spring 2027.
I would love another TV show, hopefully a good one. I'll still watch the Knuckles show whenever I feel like it, but if they do season 2 and they actually improve and actually focus on Knuckles and actually focus on characters we actually care about, like Shadow,
Yeah.
I'm all for it. Unless Shadow gets his own story, his own TV show.
Please don't bring back Wade's sister.
Oh God, please no.
But yeah, great movies. Hey guys, you should watch the movies.
Yeah, watch the movie.
Yeah.
So I guess final thoughts before we go, because we already discussed the future and stuff like that.
I don't know. I mean, I'm just I just wish that for 2027 to get here fast. Watch Sonic Movie 4.
Wait, but there's Switch 2. I don't want to skip
Yeah.
that
And
part.
Klaus, don't forget the FNAF movie is this year. FNAF 2.
wait.
And
FNAF
Mario
2 is
Movie
this
2 is
year?
next year.
Oh, well, I know. I care more about the movie than the Mario movie.
High five,
Okay.
Klaus!
FNAF
Yay!
movie. Woo!
Okay, it's just that, we do have the Mario movie.
No, in all
If
seriousness,
Mario appears, I'm like, yes!
No, I'm also excited for the Mario 2 because I like the first Mario
yeah.
movie.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Watch out for the Mario movie 2 discussion video in less.
But we haven't even done a Mario movie 1 discussion video.
We can tie our thoughts. Just like, bro, we didn't do a movie 1 and movie 2 discussion.
you know, no, we should do that for the FNAF movie too. It's just me and Klaus praising the FNAF floor while Ryan's like,
do it
resh,
on your own
resh,
channel.
resh. And Ryan's like, resh.
Wait, Klaus, you have your own channel, right?
Well, yeah, I do have a channel. I'm planning on actually kickstarting it this year. So
There
I
you go,
guess-
dude. This is good on that.
There we go.
I don't have anything to add. I'm just, unless you want to invite me, just suppose.
But yeah, you know what? As a final conclusion, video game movies are turning out pretty well, except the Borderlands movie. And I'm gonna go on a limb and say that probably the Minecraft movie won't be anything special. But so far, the Sonic movies, the Mario movie, Detective Pikachu, FNAF, pretty good. Pretty good movies.
We're in a renaissance.
Let's keep the pace.
So final thoughts on like Sonic movie 3.
I loved it. It brought me a lot of joy. It made my icy cold heart actually feel something again. Oh, my stupid mic keeps cutting out. I am so sorry. People
That's
listening.
fine.
To this.
I'll
No worries,
mention in the
man.
description.
No worries,
Klaus
bro.
might have some.
Yeah. No, it made me happy. I'm really excited to see what they do for the next one.
Great
How about you,
movies all around. The Sonic movies I wanted to see as a kid, growing up with the games. I was like, I already said kind of my final thoughts a few minutes ago, where it's like growing up with Sonic, becoming a teenager, like seeing stuff with Sonic, with the games and the fan works in a way. Like Sonic Movie 3 really felt like this is what I wanted to see. This is the Sonic movie that I really enjoyed. Don't have a lot of negatives to say. Maybe just that one character that I thought could have been more interesting, because right now
Yes.
she doesn't do anything besides that. But Shadow was great, Sonic was great, the Eggmans were great, the robotics were great, I should say. Sonic, Tails and Knuckles were great. Movie 2 is still a great time. I cannot wait to do like a whole movie marathon trilogy of just watching all 3 movies consecutively. People do that with Star Wars, I'll do that with Sonic.
How about the European Portuguese dubs?
I
That
haven't
is
s-
something I forgot to say, but I'll say it in a bit.
Yeah, I haven't, even though I love voice acting and I love Portuguese dubbing, I haven't seen the movies in European Portuguese, but from what I've heard from the trailers, great choices for the characters. It's nice to have some amount of consistency with character roles here in Portuguese dubbing, so at least there's that. But yeah,
Yeah.
Shadow sounds great, Knuckles sounds great. Maybe I'll see them someday. All 3 movies. Actually, a question: is the Knuckles TV show dubbed?
I think so, yes.
So maybe you know what? Here's the incentive. I'll watch the show dubbed. Finally, some incentive.
I didn't watch it dub, but you could try.
But yeah, no, great movies. And bring on Sonic Movie 4 and potentially another
Hopefully
TV
it's
show.
good.
And
Because
Hopefully it's good. I don't want to go. I don't want to suffer a Kung Fu Panda 4 situation, please.
Yeah, because it's kind of like the thing, and this kind of goes to my final thoughts. I don't think they can top this. I think this movie is just too good to be topped, you know. So I just hope that Sonic Movie 4 is a good time as well. Because it feels like the writers have like not only gotten they've learned the lessons and stuff like that, but also I think they've gotten the trust of the audience. I think now they could go a bit more crazy with their ideas, you know. I really enjoyed this movie. I watched it twice in cinemas. The second time was the European Portuguese dub, and I really enjoyed that dub as well. How they did some certain jokes as well. I liked Shadow's voice, Luis Lucino, who's actually the voice of Andy in Toy Story 2, 3, and 4 here in Portugal. This is very funny, but he did a great job. The only thing that I think the dub could have, you could tell is like, okay, they really want to slip sync the mouth, and sometimes they have to make lines like destroy, destruir, you know, it's like, okay, I get it. But besides that, the quality is really good, and overall, I enjoyed it, especially because the first time I watched the movie by myself, but the second time I watched with a friend, and it was it was a blast. And that's kind of like the note we leave on. Sonic Movie 3 was a blast. It is really fun, and watch it. Like, for anybody at home, watch the movie, whether in cinemas, on streaming, because we're recording this on the 19th. It's coming to streaming services on the 21st, actually, which is surprising me how soon it's coming. But watch it. Like, watch it in cinemas as well, because, like, the great experience, you get a great experience there. So, like, just watch the movie. It's amazing. Even if you don't know much about the previous movies, watch them as well. You know, just watch it. They're great. They're great. I guess with all that being said, thank you guys for watching this discussion, and see y'all next time. Later, everybody.
Bye.
Sayonara, Shadow the Hedgehog.